Hi, it's Daniel and thank you for watching In a Magical Mood. Today I'm going to share with you how to get a virtual queue time to see the brand new Rogers the Musical over at California Adventure in the Hyperion Theater. There are a few options to see the show. You can buy a premium viewing experience for $29 and that comes with popcorn and preferred viewing of the show. You can also show up before showtime and wait in a standby line, but that gets very crowded and has very limited seating. So your best bet if you don't want to spend money and you want to try and see the show is to sign up for the virtual queue. The virtual queue is very similar to the virtual queues that they've used in the past for other rides and the World of Color show that they're currently using. The virtual queue becomes available each day at 10:30 a.m. for the first two shows and 2 p.m. for the second two shows. Rogers the Musical does not show every day, so make sure you're checking the event calendar on the Disneyland app to see if it is going to be showing on the day that you're visiting. In order to use the virtual queue, you do need to be scanned into either California Adventure Park or Disneyland Park and have a park hopper ticket. Park hopping starts at 11 and the first show of the day is always after 11 a.m. So it doesn't matter which park you start in, you'll be able to access the virtual queue and attend the show as long as you have a valid ticket that gets you into California Adventure, whether that be a park hopper or just a straight California Adventure ticket. Before you even arrive at the park, there's a couple things you can do to improve your chances of getting a virtual queue time and make the process go smoother. Thing number one is to make sure that your Disneyland app is updated before you visit. Having the most up-to-date Disneyland app is going to ensure you have the smoothest experience. The other thing that I recommend is to close all other apps and give your phone a quick restart before you start the actual virtual queue process. That way you're going off the freshest slate possible on your phone. Now I'm going to show you how to access the virtual queue in the Disneyland app and set everything up so that you are ready to join the Rogers the Musical virtual queue when the virtual queue opens. Once you're in the Disneyland app, it doesn't really matter what screen you're on. Right now I'm on the attraction screen, as you can see, but you can also be on the home screen where it shows you everything. Doesn't matter. You want to go to this hamburger menu in the bottom right corner. That's the 3 lines. And once you click on that, it's going to pull up this giant list of options. On my phone, the bottom left is the virtual queues option. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And then you need to click on Join Virtual Queue. And once you've clicked on Join Virtual Queue, it shows you the virtual queue options for the day. So today is Saturday, July 1st. The virtual queue options are for Rogers the Musical and for World of Color 1. We want Rogers the Musical where the first virtual queue opens at 10:30. Once you're on this screen, it's real easy. You click on Confirm Your Party. And then it pulls up the people who have scanned into the park for the day. So you can see I'm here with Jenny, so I'm gonna confirm that that is good. And all we have to do is sit on the screen and wait for 10:30 to roll around. And at 10:30, it says you can pull up to refresh or you can tap the refresh button. So you can see here, if I pull down, it refreshes it. You can kind of see there at the bottom, it shows you when the last time it was refreshed, or you just press the refresh button and it does the same thing. I'm a fan of the refresh button over pulling down, but either method works. Now all we need to do is wait for 10:30 to roll around, press that refresh button, and hopefully we'll be given a time to watch Rogers the Musical through the virtual queue. Now that it's approaching 10:30, I want to share how to actually join the virtual queue to guarantee your success, or at least give you a much better shot at getting a virtual queue time. If you take away nothing else from this video, the biggest tip I have is to make sure that you have a clock or a watch that gives you the exact time synced up to the global time system. iPhones and Androids do this. If you have an Apple Watch or a Galaxy Watch, this will allow you to do that as well. But you want to watch the seconds tick up to exactly 10:30. And as soon as that clock that you're using hits 10:30, that's the exact moment you want to press the refresh button to give yourself the best shot at getting a virtual queue return time. You don't want to wait till 10:30 and 4 seconds because oftentimes the virtual queue will fill up. Exactly 10:30, that's the time you want to press that refresh button. And then my other big tip is once it hits 10:30 and you press that refresh button, you don't want to think about what you have to do. You want to keep tapping things that show up that are blue until you're either given a virtual queue return time or a show time for Rogers the Musical, or it tells you that you weren't able to get into the virtual queue. But keep tapping. Don't worry about what it says. Make sure that you're tapping so that you have the best chance of getting that virtual queue return time. It's now 10:29 with 50 seconds. Again, I'm just waiting for the clock to hit exactly 10:30, and then I'm going to hit that refresh button and any blue buttons that show up with it. So 56, 57, 58, 59, 0. Press, 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 press. Oh, I went too far, but here you can see right there, I was able to get a 12:30 showtime, so that's very successful. That's the first show of the day. If you didn't get a return time on your first attempt at 10:30, again, you can try at 2 o'clock. The process is exactly the same. An hour before, you can try and set up the virtual queue, and then at exactly 2 o'clock, you want to press that refresh button and then keep hitting any blue buttons that show up. I know it went quickly, so I'm going to show again what it looks like as you go through the refresh and pressing blue buttons in a slower speed. So watch this right here. You can see that it's going a lot slower, and even though I'm showing it slowly, you have to go really fast in order to ensure your virtual queue time. Right here underneath the showtime 12:30, it says that the loading area opens approximately 30 to 45 minutes before showtime, and that capacity is limited. It also says that having a virtual queue time does not guarantee the ability to see the show, but they typically don't assign more people to the virtual queue than they have seats in the theater. So we should be good. So in a little bit, we will head over to California Adventure, get in line, and see the show. Hi, Daniel from the future here. So we are actually waiting for our 12:30 virtual queue time to come up, and they told us that you actually cannot line up or go into the theater until you get a push notification on your phone. So it seems, assigned a specific sort of group number within your actual virtual queue return time. So just be advised, you may not want to get here super duper early because you're not going to really be able to do anything except hang out and wait. You cannot get in until they actually call your return time and send that push notification to your phone. They did tell us that if you have the virtual queue, you should have your pick of seats from the mezzanine and orchestra levels, but you go into the theater after everyone who purchased the preferred package, so whatever's left, those are the sections that you'll be able to sit in. You can line up early for standby, but they don't guarantee that you'll get a seat. It seems like if you are waiting standby, you can choose from seats in the balcony and possibly fill in any seats that are still available after the virtual queue group and preferred seating groups get in. Now back to you, 10:30 a.m., Daniel. I'm gonna assume that after you've gotten your virtual queue time, you're gonna close your phone and have to get to it again later. So just as a reminder to get to that virtual queue time and access your barcode, you're gonna wanna, again, from any screen in the Disneyland app, go to the hamburger menu in the bottom right and click on that. Click again on virtual queues, and it's going to pull up the times that you have available for any of the virtual queues you've enrolled in. So you can see here I've got my Rogers the Musical time here, showing me again that it's at 12:30. And then once it gets closer to showtime, it'll actually pop up with a button you can press to access your barcodes or your tickets in order to scan in to the theater.
Put your hands together for the one, the only, Stargats!
How's it going, Hyperion?
Did it work?
What?
Hawkeye hit the bullseye, there's no better shot than you.
Right.
Tony, you got to be careful not to crash.
Yep.
And hope you know the magic word. Hope you know the magic word.
Hope you know the magic word.
Smash! Smash! Smash!
Sing, help us win.
I could do this all.
Sing, help us win. Sing a song, sing the
If you found this video helpful, please give us a big thumbs up. It really helps us out. Don't forget to subscribe for even more magical content from here at the Disneyland Resort, and I hope I put you in a magical mood.